Kandamandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Ajnanati Mirandasya Yana Jana Shalakaya Chakshurudmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Stavaram Jangamam Vyaktam Yat Kinchit Sacharacharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Babaji Vyapiyat Sarvam Trailokyam Sacharacharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sarva Shuddhi Shiroratna Virajita Padambujaha Vedantam Buja Suryoya Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Chaitanya Shashvata Shanto Vyomatito Niranjanaha Indunada Kalatita Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Jnana Shakti Samaruda Tattvamala Vibhushitaha Bhukti Mukti Pradatacha Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Aneka Janma Samprapta Karma Bandha Vidahine Atmanyana Pradhanena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shoshanam Bhava Sindhoscha Jnapanam Sara Sampadaha Guru Padodakam Samyak Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Na Guru Radhikam Tattvam Na Guru Radhikam Tapaha Tattvajnanat Param Nasti Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Manata Sri Jagannatha Madguru Sri Jagadguru Mamatma Sarva Bhutatma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Guru Radhira Nadischa Guru Parama Devatam Guru Parantaram Nasti Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Tvameva Mata Cha Pita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhusya Sakha Tvameva Tvameva Vidyadravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Jai Gurudeva Namo Namah Sri Vishwananda Namo Namah Premavatara Namo Namah Sadgurudeva Namo Namah Jai Gurudeva Namo Namah Sri Vishwananda Premavatara Namo Namah Satgurudeva Namo Namah Jai Gurudeva Namo Namah Sri Vishwananda Namo Namah Premavatara Namo Namah Satgurudeva Namo Namah Jai Gurudeva Namo Namah Sri Vishwananda Namo Namah Premavatara Namo Namah Satgurudeva Namo Vishwananda Namo Namah Devavatara Namo Namah Sadguru Deva Namo Namah
Jai Guru Deva Namo Namah Sri Vishwananda Namo Namah Premavatara Namo Namah Sadguru Deva Namo Namah
Jai Guru Deva Namo Namah Sri Vishwananda Namo Namah Premavatara Namo Namah Sadguru Deva Namo Namah
Jai Guru Deva Namo Namah Sri Vishwananda Namo Namah Premavatara Namo Namah Sadguru Deva Namo Namah
Jai Guru Deva Namo Namah Sri Vishwananda Namo Namah Premavatara Namo Namah Sadguru Deva Namo Namah
Jai Guru Deva Namo Namah Shri Vishwananda Namo Namah Premavatara Namo Namah Sadguru Deva Namo Namah
Jai Guru Deva Namo Namah Sri Vishwananda Namo Namah Premavatara Namo Namah Sadguru Deva Namo Namah
Jai Guru Deva Namo Namah Shri Vishwananda Namo Namah Premavatara Namo Namah Sadguru Deva Namo Namah
Jai Guru Deva Namo Namah Sri Vishwananda Namo Namah Premavatara Namo Namah Sadguru Deva Namo Namah
Jai Guru Deva Namo Namah Shri Vishwananda Namo Namah Premavatara Namo Namah Sadguru Deva Namo Namah
Jai Guru Deva Namo Namah Sri Vishwananda Namo Namah Premavatara Namo Namah Sadguru Deva Namo Namah
Jai Guru Deva Namo Namah Shri Vishwananda Namo Namah Premavatara Namo Namah Sadguru Deva Namo Namah
Jai Guru Deva Namo Namah Sri Vishwananda Namo Namah Premavatara Namo Namah Sadguru Deva Namo Namah
Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Jai
Jai Guru Deva Jai Guru Deva
Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Jai
Jai Guru Dev Guru Jai Guru Deva
Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Jai
Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Deva
Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Jai
Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Deva
Jai Guru Jai Shri Vishwananda Jai Jai
Jai Guru Vishwananda Jai Jai
Jai Guru Jai Shri 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 Vishwananda Jai Jai
Jai Guru Vishwananda Jai Jai.
Jai Guru Jai Sri Vishwananda Jai Jai.
Jai Guru Deva Namo Namah. Sri Vishwananda Namo Namah. Premavatara Namo Namah. Sadguru Deva Namo Namah.
Jai Guru Deva Namo Namah. Sri Vishwananda Namo Namah. Premavatara Namo Namah. Sadguru Deva Namo Namah.
Jai Guru Deva Namo Namah. Shri Vishwananda Namo Namah. Premavatara Namo Namah. Sadguru Deva Namo Namah.
Jai Guru Deva Namo Namah. Sri Vishwananda Namo Namah. Premavatara Namo Namah. Sadguru Deva Namo Namah.
Jai Guru Deva Namo Namah. Shri Vishwananda Namo Namah. Premavatara Namo Namah. Sadguru Deva Namo Namah.
Jai Guru Deva Namo Namah. Sri Vishwananda Namo Namah. Premavatara Namo Namah. Sadguru Deva Namo Namah.
Jai Guru Deva Namo Namah. Shri Vishwananda Namo Namah. Premavatara Namo Namah. Sadguru Deva Namo Namah.
Jai Guru Deva Namo Namah. Sri Vishwananda Namo Namah. Premavatara Namo Namah. Sadguru Deva Namo Namah.
Sadguru Deva Namo Namah. Om Avatara Shishaya Namaha. Om Krishamaya Namaha. Om Devakarya Samudhyataya Namaha. Om Sukshmatanave Namaha. Om Chinmayaya Namaha. Om Gurumurtaye Namaha. Om Sundaraya Namaha. Om Sulochanaya Namaha. Om Sumukhaya Namaha. Om Charurasaya Namaha. Om Keshavaya Namaha. Om Padmapujaya Namaha. Om Mandagamanaya Namaha. Om Charumbaladhaline Namaha. Om Ramaya Namaha. Om Mandirastapakaya Namaha. Om Shri Babacharkaya Namaha. Om Gayatri Ajvane Namaha. Om Arpana Swikarakaya Namaha. Om Vishnu Pujakaya Namaha. Om Namo Narayana Yeti Mantrupasakaya Namaha. Om Swaramayaya Namaha. Om Madhurakantaya Namaha. Om Krishna Sankirtana Rupaya Namaha. Om Stotra Priyaya Namaha. Om Nitabhashine Namaha. Om Vagmine Namaha. Om Chitrakala Vishaladaya Namaha. Om Vratadharaya Namaha. Om Sadhave Namaha. Om Jagatpantaya Namaha. Om Sarvalokahitaya Namaha. Om Bhaktapriyaya Namaha. Om Sudaya Namaha. Om Anukulaya Namaha. Om Neyaya Namaha. Om Sudarshanaya Namaha. Om Bhaktavatsalaya Namaha. Om Premamurtaye Namaha. Om Shubhekshanaya Namaha. Om Pritivardhanaya Namaha. Om Swastidayakaya Namaha. Om Tarakaya Namaha. Om Anugrahaya Namaha. Om Vardhanaya Namaha. Om Architaya Namaha. Om Arthaya Namaha. Om Siddhipradaya Namaha. Om Janardanaya Namaha. Om Manoharaya Namaha. Om Mahakshaya Namaha. Om Siddheshwaraya Namaha. Om Bhasmapushitaya Namaha. Om Atmalingaya Namaha. Om Lingakshana Protsahakaya Namaha. Om Siddhi Sadhanaya Namaha. Om Madhavaya Namaha. Om Karupasakaya Namaha. Om Sukshmaya Namaha. Om Vishukaya Namaha. Om Satvikaya Namaha. Om Samadarshine Namaha. Om Dakshaya Namaha. Om
Achinthyaya Namaha, Om Nirankaraya Namaha, Om Nirmohaya Namaha, Om Avyagraya Namaha, Om Jitakrodaya Namaha, Om Vinayashilaya Namaha, Om Savashaya Namaha, Om Kushalaya Namaha, Om Shamaya Namaha, Om Satyadharmaya Namaha, Om Nirvikalpaya Namaha, Om Viraktaya Namaha, Om Atindraya Namaha, Om Satyasandaya Namaha, Om Pavitraya Namaha, Om Madhura Swabhavaya Namaha, Om Sulanandaya Namaha, Om Nandanaya Namaha, Om Prasanatmane Namaha, Om Bhaktanidaye Namaha, Om Sakshaye Namaha, Om Samatmaye Namaha, Om Sadayogine Namaha, Om Haraye Namaha, Om Sutapaya Namaha, Om Samyaya Namaha, Om Guyaya Namaha, Om Vimuktatmaya Namaha, Om Gabhiraya Namaha, Om Guptaya Namaha, Om Atmaramaya Namaha, Om Srinivasaya Namaha, Om Devaya Namaha, Om Jyotidharaya Namaha, Om Dhanyaya Namaha, Om Gurave Namaha, Om Guratikramaya Namaha, Om Gahanaya Namaha, Om Bhagavate Namaha, Om Harisharana Margadarshakaya Namaha, Om Kutastha Jagartakaya Namaha, Om Aviprayaya Namaha, Om Sarvamata Samatyaya Namaha, Om Shamaikata Bhavaharakaya Namaha, Om Premavatara Sri Vishwananda Swami Namaha. Ato Deva Avantuno Yato Vishnu Vichakrame Prativya Saptadhamabhi Idam Vishnu Vichakrame Tredani Dade Padam Samudhamasya Pagum Sure Treni Pada Vichakrame Vishnu Gopa Ada Aryaha Ato Dharmani Dhanayane Vishnu Karmani Pashyata Ato Vratani Paspashe Indrasya Yujasakaha Tad Vishnu Paramam Paragum Sada Pashanti Suryaha Divi Vachakshuratatam Tad Vipraso Vipanyaho Jagruvagum Sasamindhate Vishnu Yat Paramam Padam. Premavattaraya Vidmahe Satgurudevaya Dhimahi Tanno Vishwananda Prachodayate. Om Premavattaraya Vidmahe Satgurudevaya Dhimahi Tanno Vishwananda Prachodayate. Om Premavattaraya Vidmahe Satgurudevaya Dhimahi Tanno Vishwananda Prachodayate. Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvighnan Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. Om Bhurbhuvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Bhurvuvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Bhurvuvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Shri Krishna Vishnu Madhusudana Kaita Bhare Narayana Achyuta Trivikrama Chakrapane Daityadi Sarjadhara Sridhara Vasudeva Gopala Krishna Haraye Tava Suprabhatam Shri Rukminisha Bhavanasha Hare Murare Radhesha Gopasha Surupa Brahmadi Vandya Shri Dvarakashraya Vaikuntha Pate Bhuvanaika Murte Gopala Deva Haraye Tava Suprabhatam Ninakrite Kamatarupa Varaha Murte Trevikramaya Guhane Prabhuramana Shri Rama Krishna Yadunandana Kalki Rupa Gopala Krishna Haraye Tava Suprabhatam Govinda Madhava Mukunda Paratparesha Damodaram Jatarananda Kadari Shori Gopa Gopi Jana Samprata Dhina Bando Gopi Jana Priyaye Tava Suprabhatam Shirabhishayin Bhujagadi Patalpashayin Satbhakta Hrisadhanashayin Ramangashayin Shri Gopavama Madhutalpa Sukadishayin Gopa Vallabhaye Tava Suprabhatam Shri Kashyapati Sukanarada Gautamadi Brahmarshi Sangamani Sangavabharatesho Tishtanti Deva Tava Darshana Bhagya Hetoho Gopala Sekaranaye Tava Suprabhatam Mandara Jadi Tulasi Talamalikayahe Mayani Anjali Pute Samudhaharanti Tishtanti Vattvavatadhara Tale Murindraham Radha Manoharaye Tava Suprabhatam Vedatrayam Patati Gautamakana Goyaha Gayanti Satguna Gano Varada Savargaha Sankirtayanti Tava Nama Kadha Visheshaha Shri Naradari Rishaya Tava Suprabhatam Govardhano Dhanana Gopa Kishora Gopa Gopi Janamrita Suvesha Bhavati Pota Trilokya Mohana Sumangala Divya Deha Shri Rukminisha Varana Tava Suprabhatam Shri Vatsachina Sharanagata Parijata Bhaktarti Bhanjana Kripakara Dhina Bando Dityantagayati Janapriya Divya Rupa Shri Nanda Gopatanaya Tava Suprabhatam Padmaksha Padmamukha Padmadhara Prameya Padmalayasta Hita Padmanivasa Shori Padmodbhavati Surasedita Pada Padma Padmadhinata Haraye Tava Suprabhatam Vrindata Devi Haranaya Mahendra Vandya Kandalpatalpa Haratinya Sudesha Rupa Chandrananaya Sita Chandana Libna Deha Govindayana Varaye Tava Suprabhatam Shri Nanda Nandana Yashoda Kumara Dhira Mayanga Dhina Gavichona Supushmahara Nilam Buddha Sharira Rama Vihara Gopala Deva Haraye Tava Suprabhatam Shri Bhashti Jambavati Satya Suganti Bhadra Shri Vikrarinda Divasa Prabhuputrikaya Tishtanti Devya Bhavame Tava Sevanadam Gopi Manapriyaye Tava Suprabhatam Shri Krishna Achyuta Ananta Mukunda Shori Radha Manohara Janardana Chakrapane Namani Divya Munayona Nisham Vadanti ब्राह्मी मुहूर्त समये तव सुप्रभातम्
Shri Krishna Suprabhatam Ye Patanti Yahanisham Bhuri Kritam Mahapapam Shri Krishna Grahetukam. Ishvara Paramakrishna Sachitananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam Govindamani Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamani Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Chintamani Prakara Sadma Sukalpa Vriksha Lakshavrateshi Surabhira Vipalayantam Lakshmi Sahasra Shata Sambrama Sevyamanam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Nenum Kamantamaravinda Dalaya Taksham Bhagavatam Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Gandharvakoti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Halola Chandra Kalasat Vanamarya Vamshi Ratangadam Pranaya Keli Kalavilasam Shamam Tribangalalitam Niyata Prakasham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Angani Yasya Sakalendriya Vikti Mantri Pashyanti Panti Kalayanti Chiram Jaganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadujvala Vigrahasya Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Advaitamachyutamanadi Manam Tarupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayovanam Cha Vedeshu Dulabhamadulabhamatma Bhakto Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Pantastu Koti Satavansara Sampragamyo Ayoratapi Manaso Munikungamanam Sopyasti Yantra Padasinya Vicinte Tatve Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Ekopya Saura Chayitum Jagadanda Koti Yaschakti Asti Jagadanda Chayaya Dantaha Adantarasta Panamanu Chayantarastam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Yadvavavamita niro manujasta seva Samprapya rupa manimasanayana pusha Sukkeyameva nigamam pratitestu vanti Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibhavitavis Tabhirya Eva Nicharupataya Kalavihi Goloka Eva Nivasatya Kilatma Bhuto Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Premanjana Chulita Bhakti Vilochanena Santam Sadeva Hiraveshu Vilokayanti Yam Shama Sundaram Achintya Gunasvarupam Govindamadi Purusham
Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Ramadimurti Shukalani Yamena Tishta Nanavataram Bhuvaneshu Kintu Krishna Svayam Samabhavat Paramapumanyo Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami.
Yasya Prabha Prabhavato Jagananda Koti Koti Svashesha Vasudhani Vibhuti Vinam Tal Brahmanishkala Mahantam Ashesha Bhutam Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami.
Maya hi yasya jagadanda shatari sute Traigunya tad vishaya veda vitayamana Sattva-valambi parasattva vishuddha sattvam Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami.
Ananda Chinmaya Rasatmataya Manashu Yapradinam Pratipalam Saratam Upeyam Lila Nitena Bhuvanani Jayata Jasam Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami.
Golokanam nijadham nitale chatasya Devi Mahesha Haridham Asudeshu Teshu Tete Prabhava Nichaya Vihitaschayena Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami.
Shri 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 Pralaya Sadhana Shakti Eka Jaye Vayasya Bhuvanani Vibhakti Durga Vichanurupamapi Yasya Chatesha Tesa Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami.
Shiram yatadadifikara vishesha yoga Sanjayate nahitata prathakasti heto Yasham bhutam apitatha samupaitikaya Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami.
Vachideva Idachantaramabhyupetya Dipaya Devratayetu Samana Dharma Yastadeva Isha Vishnu Taya Vibhakti Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami.
Yakarana vala jale bhajati smayoga Nidram mananta jagadanda saroma kupaha Adhara shakti mavalam yaparam svamurti Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami.
Yasleka Nishvasita Kala Matavalamya Jivanti Loma Vilaja Jagadanda Natham Vishnur Mahansaita Yasya Kala Vishesho Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami.
Bhasvanya jasva sakaleshu nijeshu tejaha Sriyam kiyat prakatayaptyapitat varatram Brahmaya esha jagadanda vidhana karta Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami.
Kalpada Palavayugam Vinidaya Kumbha Vande Pranama Samaye Sagana Viraja Vignam Vihantu Malamasya Jagatrayasya Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami.
Agnir Mahika Ganam Ambud Marudishascha Kalastatatma Manasiti Jagatrayani Yasmad Bhavanti Vibhavanti Vishanti Yamcha Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami.
Yashakshuvesha Savita Sakala Gahana Raja Samasta Suramurti Ashesha Teja Yasya Jnaya Pravati Samvatana Chakro Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami.
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Dharmodha Papa Nichaya Shuddhayashtapamsi. Brahmadikita Patagada Vayascha Jivaha. Yadatra Matra Vibhava Prakata Prabhava. Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami.
Yastindra Gopanata Vendra Mahosva Karma Bandhanurupa Palabhajana Matanoti Dharmani Hildayati Kinsa Shabakti Bhaja Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami.
Yam Kroya Kama Sahaja Pranayadi Viti. Vatsalya Moha Guru Gaurava Sevya Bhavahe. Sanchitya Tasya Sadrishim Tanuma Purete. Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachitananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Salvakarana Karanam. Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami.
Om Agnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmiritam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Jai Gurudev. Good morning. So today's Srimad Bhagavatam verse is from Canto 3, Chapter 28, verse 2. I'm just going to give you a little bit of context before I read it. This is a conversation between Lord Kapila and his mother. I like this conversation very much. I've often taken verses from this conversation. I highly, highly recommend reading it in the Bhagavatam. He talks about so much in detail about life and devotional service and even the process of being born, the process of dying, like really detailed into all of these systems of spirituality and life. And so this chapter is called Kapila's Instructions on the Execution of Devotional Service. So he's talking to his mother. He's explaining to her all these things. And he starts this chapter by saying, "My dear mother, O daughter of the king, now I shall explain to you the system of yoga, the object of which is to concentrate the mind. By practicing this system, one can become joyful and progressively advance towards the path of the absolute truth." And then he says this, again, Canto 3, Chapter 28, verse 2. Sva dharma charanam saktya vidharmakcha nivartanam deva labdena santosha atmavik charanan charanam. The translation is, one should execute his prescribed duties to the best of his ability and avoid performing duties not allotted to him. One should be satisfied with as much gain as he achieves by the grace of the Lord, and one should worship the lotus feet of a spiritual master. So a very beautiful verse. And so again, this is the first thing after he says, I'm going to explain to you the system of yoga, right? By practicing, you can progressively advance towards the path of the absolute truth. This is the first thing that he says. So one could argue that this is everything, right? He goes into more detail, but this is the first thing that he says after saying, I'm going to explain this to you. Listen carefully. This is going to advance you to the absolute truth, the goal of life. And this is what he says, right? You should be satisfied with as much gain as you achieve by the grace of the Lord, and you should worship the lotus feet of a spiritual master. But I actually think that I'm going to add to this verse, if I don't make such an offense, that it should say one should be satisfied with as much gain and loss as he achieves by the grace of the Lord, right? Because it's not only gain that we should be satisfied with. It's also loss. It's also all things, right? There's so many stories you read about the saints that, and there's this beautiful example of Radharaman Chandas, where if you read about his life, like how incredibly, just completely surrendered he was, and how whatever came in his life he accepted, whether or not we perceive of it as a human mind might perceive of it as something positive or negative, right? He just accepted. And so I want to just tell you two stories that I have with Guruji that kind of represent this. And actually, one happened several months ago in India. And it's actually just one of the most beautiful things that I think what it really means to be a devotee of Guruji, and how beautiful it can be. So before I tell that story, the first one is last year in August, not even 1 year ago, there were some terrible, terrible fires in Maui, in Hawaii. Yeah, if you guys remember hearing about this on the news. And the worst town that was hit in Maui was a town called Lahaina. And actually, I had been to that town before. And Guruji had also been to that town before. Because that is the town that Swami Sridhar lives in, and had a surfing school there for 30 years. And so he's been there for, at minimum, 30 years. And his whole life was there, his business was there, his house was there. And so I remember that night, after having dinner with Guruji, I went back to my room. I was in my room and I just looked on my phone and saw the news that all these videos coming out, like these insane, crazy videos. If you've seen them, you know what I'm talking about. People like driving in the street, just like engulfed in fire, trying to escape. It was just absolutely insane. And even the downtown, and all of it burned and all of this stuff, and it was like on fire. And I was like, that place looks familiar. I think I've been there before. And I immediately tried to contact Swami Sridhar, because I realized that it was I didn't remember the name specifically or whatever, but I was like, this street looks familiar, and it's happening in Maui. I know Swami Sridhar is there. Tried to contact him, and he responded to me, I think immediately. And so I went back to Guruji's bungalow immediately, and Guruji called him, and he was just kind of giving us information. You know, he had a friend that was a firefighter, and was just like, the whole town is just leveled, basically, right? Like, it's just gone. Like, it's crazy, crazy, crazy. Like, so hot that like the metal on the cars was melting and all of this stuff. And so he got the call to evacuate and left. And having this conversation at night with Swami Sridhar and Guruji, and just observing the fact that he didn't seem to be all that distressed. And this conversation was so nice, also Guruji being like, he gets into certain moods where he starts saying things a little bit more plainly and talking about the kind of destructive aspect, the unforgiving aspect of Mother Nature, of Devi, and kind of saying, yes, like it's meant to be and all these things. And at the same time, Swami Sridhar was, after we spoke with him, he sent us some videos also that he took, and he was just thanking Guruji in that phone call. Because he said, I have the understanding from what, he specifically said this, from what I've learned from you, from what you've given me, I have the understanding and the strength to just accept this situation. Like, can you imagine your entire life, your business, everything, like so quickly, like this fire was not slow moving, yeah? From one moment to the next, your whole life, what do you know, all of these things that we attach ourselves to, your identity in so many ways, like his business of 30 years that he loved is gone. It's completely gone. Everything's gone. Don't even know how much he could save, you know, and it's just gone. And yet he's there, just cool, just accepting. And he sent us videos of him in the street, where he's literally just in the street, and like there's like fire, like, you know, 400 meters away or whatever. And he's chanting Ugram Biram Mahavishnum. And just observing, you know. And so that was the first of many examples also in my own life of devotees being able to withstand, let's say, or not even withstand, but just accept whatever it is that life gives them through the grace of their guru, right? Through the grace of Guruji, through the teachings of Guruji. And so the other story I want to talk about is we were in Vrindavan. And yeah, I'm not going to go into so many details just for the sake of the privacy of the devotee, but there was a situation. I was alone with Guruji in his room in India and Vrindavan at the ashram, and he allowed me to observe and listen to this conversation that he had. And so I knew vaguely the conversation. There's one devotee, and she had to rush back to her home country. There were some issues going on with her family. And it came to be that her son was murdered. Her son was murdered. He didn't just die, he was murdered. And she had just found out the news, basically. And Guruji called her, and I was in the room to listen to that conversation. And so they were talking about the details and whatever, but the first thing that struck me is how calm she was, actually. And Guruji asked her, "How are you?" And she said, "You know, Guruji, I'm okay. I'm okay." And so they were talking, and she just proceeded to say, by the end of the conversation, that she said, "You know, Guruji, I'm not so well educated. You know, I don't know so much. But one thing that I do is I listen to you. I listen to your satsangs, and I listen to what you say very carefully, and I take it seriously." And she said, "I know that everything is in your hands, that you're taking care of him, and that if this was meant to happen, like that this was meant to happen. That I know that this death is not the end and all of these things, and I know all of these things by your grace and by the knowledge that I've acquired from you. And now I have to be strong for my family, for my other children, and this and this and the other thing." And it blew me away. I actually started crying. It was so beautiful. Because the thing is that it's very easy. It's very easy to say things and do things and say that you're spiritual and go to Just Love Festival and go traveling with Guruji. It's easy when things are easy. You know? But when things get hard, when life really gets hard, then you see what it means to be a devotee and what it can mean to be a devotee. When, like this devotee, when you take his words seriously and you listen closely to what he says. Swami Sridhar could have blamed Guruji. This woman could have blamed Guruji. This devotee could have blamed Guruji. Why did you let this happen? You know, you are controlling everything. Why did you let this fire happen? Why did you let my son get murdered? Why did you do that? It would be so easy to go into that and to just become poisoned completely. Turn against Guruji. Why you? No. But they didn't do that at all. And they didn't ask also. Neither of them asked anything from Guruji. They just thanked him. They both thanked him. And so, this is why I make this slight addition to this verse. One should be satisfied with as much gain and loss as he achieves by the grace of the Lord, right? Because ultimately it's all his grace. Whether or not we can perceive of it or not in that moment, what matters is when life gets hard, like, be like these examples of these devotees. It's easy, right? It's easy. When things are easy, it's easy. But when it's hard, it can also be easy. Jai Gurudev.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Praladaladaine. Hiranyakashipur Vakshaha.
Hiranyakashipur Vakshaha.
Hiranyakashipur Vakshaha.
Hiranyakashipur Vakshaha.
Shilatangana Kalaye.
Shilatangana Kalaye.
Shilatangana Kalaye.
Shilatangana Kalaye.
Ito Narasimha Parato Narasimho.
Ito Narasimho Parato Narasimho.
Ito Narasimha Parato Narasimho.
Ito Narasimho Parato Narasimho.
Yato Yato Yami Tato 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 Narasimho.
Vahe Narasimho Hridaye Narasimho.
Vahe Narasimho Hridaye Narasimho.
Vahe Narasimho Hridaye Narasimho.
Vahe Narasimho Hridaye Narasimho.
Narasimha Madim Sharanam Prapadye.
Narasimha Madim Sharanam Prapadye.
Narasimha Madim Sharanam Prapadye.
Narasimha Madim Sharanam Prapadye.
Tava Tavakara Kamalavare Nakama Bhuta Shringa Dalitan Hiranyakashipu Tanubringa Keshavadirta Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare
Tavakara Kamalavare Nakama Bhuta Shringa Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubringa Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare
Tavakara Kamalavare Nakama Bhuta Shringa Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubringa Keshavadhirta Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare
Bhuta Shringa Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubringa Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare
Keshavadhirta Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare
Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare
Jaya Narsimha Dev Narsimha Dev Narsimha Dev Jaya Narsimha Dev
Jai Narsimha Dev Narsimha Dev Narsimha Dev Jai Narsimha Dev
Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Bhakta Swarupa Jaya Prahlad Maharaj
Jai Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Bhakta Swarupa Jai Prahlad Maharaj
Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev
Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev
Sri Vishwananda Gurudev 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 Sri Vishwananda Gurudev
Sri Vishwananda Gurudev 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 Sri Vishwananda Gurudev
Gurudev Gurudev Sri Vishwananda Gurudev
Gurudev Gurudev Sri Vishwananda Gurudev
Gurudev Gurudev Sri Vishwananda Gurudev
Gurudev Gurudev Sri Vishwananda Gurudev
Shri Vittala Giridhari Parabrahmane Namaha
Shri Vittala Giridhari Parabrahmane Namaha
Shri Vittala Giridhari Parabrahmane Namaha Parabrahmane Namaha.
Sri Vittala Giridhari 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 Parabrahmane Namaha.
Shri Vittala Giridhari Parabrahmane Namaha.
Sri Vittala Giridhari Parabrahmane Namaha.
Shri Vittala Giridhari Parabrahmane Namaha.
Sri Vittala Giridhari Parabrahmane Namaha.
Shri Vittala Giridhari Parabrahmane Namaha.
Sri Vittala Giridhari Parabrahmane Namaha.
Shri Vittala Giridhari Parabrahmane Namaha.
Sri Vittala Giridhari Parabrahmane Namaha.
Shri Vittala Giridhari Parabrahmane Namaha.
Sri Vittala Giridhari Parabrahmane Namaha.
Shri Vittala Giridhari Parabrahmane Namaha.
Sri Vittala Giridhari Parabrahmane Namaha.
Shri Vittala Giridhari Parabrahmane Namaha.
Sri Vittala Giridhari Parabrahmane Namaha.
Shri Vittala Giridhari Parabrahmane Namaha.
Sri Vittala Giridhari Parabrahmane Namaha.
Shri Vittala Giridhari Parabrahmane Namaha.
Sri Vittala Giridhari Parabrahmane Namaha.
Shri Vittala Giridhari Parabrahmane Namaha.
Sri Vittala Giridhari Parabrahmane Namaha.
Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me Yatirajaya Manuja Mangala Mangala Me.
Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me. Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me.
Yatindraya Karunakaraya Mangala Mangala Me.
Yatindraya Karunakaraya Mangala Mangala Me.
Praparti dalmai karataya mangala mangala me.
Prapati dharme karataya mangala mangala me.
Ramanuja Ramanuja mangala mangala me. Yatiraja Ramanuja mangala mangala me.
Ramanuja Ramanuja mangala mangala me. Yatiraja Ramanuja mangala mangala me.
Saligrama pratishtitaya mangala mangala me.
Saligrama pratishtitaya mangala mangala me.
Tridandadadini Godagajaya mangala mangala me.
Tridandadadini Godagajaya mangala mangala me.
Ramanuja Ramanuja mangala mangala me. Yatiraja Ramanuja mangala mangala me.
Ramanuja Ramanuja mangala mangala me. Yatiraja Ramanuja mangala mangala me.
Rangesha Kenkaryarataya mangala mangala me.
Rangesha Kenkaryarataya mangala mangala me.
Mananataya Dharidaraya mangala mangala me.
Mananataya Dharidaraya mangala mangala me.
Ramanuja Ramanuja mangala mangala me. Yatiraja Ramanuja mangala mangala me.
Ramanuja Ramanuja mangala mangala me. Yatiraja Ramanuja mangala mangala me.
Mangala mangala me. Om Jai Jagadisha Hare. Swami Jai Jagadisha Hare. Bhakta Janon ke Sankata Dasa Janon ke Sankata Jana me dura kare. Om Jai Jagadisha Hare. Jo jave phala pave dukha vinase manaka. Swami dukha vinase manaka. Sukha sampati gara ave. Sukha sampati gara ave. Kashtamite Tanaka. Om Jai Jagadisha Hare. Mata Pita Tuma Mere Sharanaga Hume Kisaki. Swami Sharanaga Hume Kisaki. Tuma Bina Ora Na Dunya. Tuma Bina Ora Na Dunya. Asakarume Kisaki. Om Jai Jagadisha Hare. Tuma Purana Paramatma Tuma Antarayami. Swami Tuma Antarayami. Para Brahma Parameshwara. Para Brahma Parameshwara. Tuma Sabake Swami. Om Jai Jagadisha Hare. Tuma Karuna ke Sagar. Tuma Palana Karta. Swami Tuma Palana Karta. Main Sevaka Tuma Swami. Main Sevaka Tuma Swami. Kripa Karo Bharata. Om Jai Jagadisha Hare. Tuma ho eta agochan sabake pranapati. Swami sabake pranapati. Kisa vidhi milom dayamaya. Kisa vidhi milom kripamaya. Tumako main kumaki. Om Jai Jagadisha Hare. Dina Bandhu Dukha Harta. Tumara Shaka Mere. Swami Tumara Shaka Mere. Karuna Hata Badhao. Karuna Hata Badhao. Sharana Pada Tere. Om Jai Jagadisha Hare. Vishaya Vikara Mitao. Papa Haro Deva. Swami Papa Haro Deva. Shraddha Bhakti Badhao. Shraddha Prema Badhao. Santana Ki Seva. Om Jaya Jagadisha Hare. मन धन सब है तेरा स्वामी सब कुछ है तेरा स्वामी सब कुछ है तेरा तेरा तुझको अर्पण तेरा तुझको अर्पण क्या लागे मेरा ओम जय जगदीश हरे ओम जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी जय जगदीश हरे बात जनों के संकट का सजनों के संकट क्षण में दूर करे ओम जय जगदीश हरे मन चाकर राखो जी गिरधारी लाला चाकर राखो जी गिरधारी लाला चाकर राखो जी गिरधारी लाला चाकर राखो जी मन चाकर राखो जी गिरधारी लाला चाकर राखो जी गिरधारी लाला चाकर राखो जी गिरधारी लाला चाकर राखो जी चाकर राखो चाकर राखो चाकर राखो जी चाकर राखो चाकर राखो चाकर राखो जी माने चाकर राखो जी गिरधारी लाला चाकर राखो जी श्याम मने चाकर राखो जी गिरधारी लाला चाकर राखो जी गोविंदा मन चाकर राखो जी गिरधारी लाला चाकर राखो जी गिरधारी लाला चाकर राखो जी गिरधारी लाला चाकर राखो जी त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतां गमय ॐ शान्ति 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 लोका समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु लोका समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु लोका समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम प्रेम से बोलो लक्ष्मी नारायण भगवान की प्रेम से बोलो श्री बुद्धभट्टेश्वर भगवान की प्रेम से बोलो श्री हरे कृष्ण कन्हैया लाल की प्रेम से बोलो महावतार क्रिया बाबा जी की प्रेम से बोलो श्री गुरुचार्य की प्रेम से बोलो सद्गुरुदेव श्री स्वामी विश्वानंद महाप्रभु की कृष्णाय गोविंदाय गोपीजनवल्लभाय पराय परमपुरुषाय परकर्म मंत्रयंत्रतंत्र औषधश्च शस्त्राणि समराय समराय भिजोय मोचाय मोचाय ओम नमो भगवते महासुदर्शनाय दीप्तिज्वलप्रदाय सवनिक शुभ्रहं भक्त परस्महे परब्रह्मणे परम ज्योतिषे स्वाहा ओम शांति 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 श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम जय जय श्री राधे जय जय श्री राधे जय जय श्री राधे श्याम वेंकटरमण गोविंदा गोपिका जीवन स्मरण गोविंदा भक्तवत्सला गोविंदा 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 पुंडलीक वरदे एकनाथ नाम दे पुनरनाथ महाराज की जय रुक्मिणी महारानी की जय समस्त भक्त मंडली की जय आलवारम पुरुमनार थिरुवरिकले शरण